Hello, this is Meagan Meehan reporting for Alexander Gurman Productions, and today I'm here with photographer Janice Everett. And Janice creates these really beautiful photographs that are then digitally altered, so they almost look like kaleidoscope images. Janice is one of the artists that is associated with Art Blend Gallery in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we are very happy to have her here today. So Janice,
thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. And can you tell us a little bit about what first inspired you to get into photography, and how did you ever think of altering the images to create this really cool effect?
Well, I studied photography in art school college, and then when I came to this country from England in the 70s, I was always taking photographs because I was fascinated with the city, and particularly the whole perspective when you look between the buildings and up at the sky. Yes. And now I'm a teacher. My career in fashion is, I'm still a little bit in there, but I had time to do my artwork. So then a few years back, I started to play around with those images that I had originally made, and then I started to take new images. And I do have a particular theme behind this.
And what are the themes?
Well, particularly in that one, it's about nature. What are we looking at every day in our urban city life?
There's trees. I don't know if the camera's picking them up, but there's building here, and then there's trees here.
Yes. So that was Bryant Park on 42nd Street. So we look up when we're walking in New York. You look up or you look down. And there's shiny buildings, and there's also reflections. And then I was playing with that because I was a textile designer, so playing with the repeat where you twist it around, flip it. And then that one, it's like looking down, because I'm looking down from a balcony onto a street. And then the same composition, but very different style of image.
They're photos, but you turn them into almost like fashion-like patterns. And I noticed the scarf that you're wearing is also, that was made from one of your photographs, correct?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that these were fashion, because I'm trying to get away from design. But there is such a thing as pattern art, in the art world.
Pattern art, I think you see the influence, you see the
exactly. Yeah, because that's where I come from, from making patterns.
So larger photos here.
This is actually one of my favorite pieces.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because you're looking up and seeing the sky.
It gives you that dizzying effect.
I know.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah, like you get sucked in a bit. And then you've got the reflection, in this case for nature, with the clouds, right? And then there's a geometric element that I really like. I was trained in basic design at college, so this idea of geometry has always been very appealing. And then this is it printed.
Oh, and that is that one.
Yeah,
oh, lovely.
Yeah. So
how much does your work retail for? Like that one that you were just holding up that inspired the scarf. How much do you sell that for?
This would be, if I'm selling it directly, and if I have an open studio or something, it would be $200. It's crepe de chine and it's silk.
Okay, so the silk is the scarf is $200, and how much is the painting? The just photograph. I'm sorry.
Right. If it's artwork, and then if I may I just take that one sec? Because if through Art Blend, I print on metal on aluminum. Yeah. And so this was just the photo, and then I put some perspex off. So if it's mounted, then it could be, I don't know, 1,500.
Okay, so
depending on the
reasonable.
size. Depending on the size, exactly. Yeah.
But extremely reasonable.
Yeah.
And then what is the other painting, the picture that you have here? Because this one is very visually
this
stunning.
Was another example of a building.
It looks like abstract artwork.
It's very abstract. Yeah, you're right. And then this idea of perspective, so that the viewer can be drawn in by these lines to the center.
And the way the clouds are situated, very beautiful.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So how did you find Art Blend Gallery, and what has been your experience working with them?
I think they found me. I have a site. I'm on Instagram, but it was through the site. I think they were finding my work, and then suggested that I might like to show. And I thought, hey, let's try it. So I think the first show was last year in the Hamptons, and then I was also in the autumn show with another piece. I think you've got 3 or 4 pieces. And then I like the idea of it being exposed on your site, and then there's the magazine.
Now, speaking of websites, let's say somebody sees this interview and they want to get to know more about you and your art. Can you tell us what is your website, or what is your email?
It's Janice Everett, janice.com, my name, and you can go straight there, and then you can see photographs, original photographs, you can see the fabric, and also the artwork like this, where I'm actually, as you said, flipping it and making it into an icon or an image. And then I do a lot of street photography, because I have this idea of what you see above and what you see below. So I do quite a lot of walking around, seeing texture or interesting composition on the street or on the walls where I live in my neighbourhood. And so I'm sort of a visual reporter of things that attract my eye.
It's marvelous and really beautiful. In fact, I've never seen anything quite like this. So they're absolutely stunning.
Thanks.
So do you have anything coming up that you would like to mention? Any exhibitions or events?
Well, I might be with you in the New York Expo.
Oh yes, that's on April 21st. I think it's April 21st this year. Big, huge international art show here in New York. Definitely stop by the Art Blend booth. They're going to have some fantastic work, and hopefully Janice's work will be included.
Yeah, no, I'm keen to do it, and I find you very supportive and helpful, and eventually I hope the work gets recognised through being exposed, because you have a lot of
well, it's so unique
lot of
and
consultants
beautiful. I think it will be recognized. Like, this is my absolute favorite. I love
Thank
the
you.
colors. It's really delightful. It makes me smile.
Yeah, that's
I need
a new
more
piece.
work like that.
That's a new piece.
So thank you so much for coming today.
Pleasure.
So
Pleasure.
appreciate
Nice to
it.
talk to you, Meagan.
So,
Yeah.
thank